Speaking of which, of course, the man of the moment, yourself, a little bit of footage going around. We had a mild disagreement with some guy in a bar. That it didn't really go well for the other guy, uh, the lovely Geno Bisconte. But I gotta ask you something. How did you throw that punch to for it to be that hard? Because like you're not like the biggest guy in the world, but you fucked him up with that one. And I seen the footage, and it wasn't like you ran up to him. It wasn't like you were like, you know, getting your shoulders ready. You just fucking caught him. But it's like so. Before we get into the Geno talk, do you have some sort of boxing background?
Yeah, no, I don't. I never have thrown a punch in my life except for seventh grade, and that was one. So no, I don't. I'm not a fighter at all. I just am. I don't know. I mean, what can I say, man? I'm gifted.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when you watch that footage, but and also on top of that, you were wearing a fucking shirt, so you had restricted shoulder movement,
Yeah,
and it's just like how the fuck. That's the thing that was so unbelievable about it, and then according to reports, New York Crime Report, which is a podcast I'm starting up soon with Berg. There's a show like this fucking like you really did fuck him up, and he was out for what, a month from a single punch.
yeah, that was by choice. I think he had some elective surgery to take care of.
Yeah, for hair plugs. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But talk to me about Geno's reputation, because I do like him, and I am a fan of the guy.
I
But
gotta go. I gotta go. It's been fun.
but I have heard a lot. But I have to say that as a fan, there's stuff about him that just makes you think, like, Geno, for fuck's sake, like, uh, of course, there was that infamous thing when he was on the Chrissy Mayer show, and he started yelling the N word over the phone and just kept saying it and kept saying it. And it's like, Geno, in this day and age, you save that for when you're stuck in traffic, like a gentleman, or maybe at
Well,
Christmas time.
take it
Yeah.
easy, man. I mean, he's not that good on every podcast. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, so like behind the scenes, what is the sort of the general vibe on Geno?
Gino's fine. I mean, like, I we were behind us. If we're hanging around in the studio back where I used to work, he's like he's just sitting around. I'll tell you this: Gino comes into the room, the whole energy changes immediately, right? So that's the way he walks in, loud and moving around and shit. But like he might be sitting around doing, just sitting there. And, he's like anybody else, I guess, right? Sort of, except, just more obnoxious sometimes. And he's, it just depends on when you catch him, how much he's had to drink and all that stuff. I think he saves a lot of his most obnoxious stuff for when he's on his show. I never like to make my show about talking shit about somebody. Personally, I don't think that's what, as it turns out, I guess a lot of people do enjoy that. But like, I never just like to just sit and like take Crime Report, and then go, "Hey, this guy I work with, what a fucking asshole. This will fix him." I didn't do anything like that. Then later I see he's done a lot of that for me, and it seems like a big fucking. It just seems weird. Seems weird to me to do that. So I think he's worse on camera than he is off a lot of times. I mean that's. If you want to know the truth.
I do. How big's your penis?
Hmm?
But I got But what did you hear about the Geno and Aaron Berg fight?
Oh, the fight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you didn't punch him. Nobody got punched. It was just like he threw him against the wall or something, is what I heard. And then I heard that Geno. I don't even know if I want to say this. I heard that he pissed himself. That you could just see the puddle forming around his feet as he shook and whimpered. And he was saying things like he wasn't afraid, but like, but he's just fucking terrified. That's what I heard. I
Well,
can't say that that's true or not.
but to be honest, Berg's pretty stocky. Like he's probably someone that could hurt. Yeah.
Ah, sure. He's stocky. He's a muscular guy who worked out a lot. He's short, but he's pretty strong. Low
At
center
the
of gravity.
at the next Skank Fest, we could do a Pat Dixon versus Iron Berg fight. The man with the iron punch versus the short muscular guy. Who's your money on?
I mean, you don't want to.
The loser has to clean up a puddle of Geno's piss.
It's gonna be yeah. Don't rule me out in that, man. I might surprise everybody and last longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah, but no. What's there's that other comedian, a lovely gentleman called, isn't it Godfrey? Am I saying his name right?
Yeah, I guess Godfrey. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's after Geno for a lot of the racial jokes. Where it's a shame because as I mentioned, I'm a Geno fan, but it seems like all his. See, I'm all about free speech, but I'm also a realist in that I think you can say what you want, but it also doesn't keep you free of the consequences of free speech. Like I know that if I said something to the person in there, she and I said the wrong thing. That's not going to be the end of it. That's going to lead to a penis being cut off or whatever.
You don't cut her dick off just because you don't like her. Okay, I mean that's.
But what if she's giving me the eye and dick's coming off?
Yeah, I get you. I understand. Look, you need free speech, but it's not just about free speech. It's about. I mean, people say that all the time. It doesn't mean you get to say what you want without consequences. Well, maybe not. People have thin skin sometimes, but also, dude, it's about the person who's saying it and the way they say it too. There's all kinds of ways to say a lot of things that our friend said, and if you're particularly in your face and obnoxious and repetitive about it, if it's not a punchline, it needs to be a punchline. It needs to be funny. That's something I learned. It was I had a bartender one time in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we were talking about controversial jokes and shit, and he goes, "Well, BBF," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Better be funny." That's the rule. So just like you gotta get a laugh, or else it's just you're just talking shit.
But the thing, I do think that there are some funny racist jokes. But at the same time, I know that you can't get up on stage and say it and then be like, why can't I get booked? Why did Lorne Michaels cancel my lunch?
Look, if you're funny, it's that's the ultimate defense for me. It's like truth. If something's true, yeah, okay, but it needs to be true and funny. And it's only funny if it's true, typically. Or if it carries a truth with it that is implicit in the message of the joke. Like sometimes a joke is like a joke only because it's like the worst thing a person would ever say. So like there's a parenthetical phrase in front of your sentence that is, what if somebody said this? And then that kind of makes it funny. Look, you can't expect to get hired by Lorne Michaels, period. I mean, and I realized I'm not going to fucking Just for Laughs festival in Montreal ever. And I've been there before, but I'm never going back, I'm sure. And I'm not going to be on The Tonight Show. I'm not going to get to do Colbert and all that shit, I mean, like, it's just I've quit show business. You see, I still do stand up, but I've quit show business. I'm only entertaining people in the audience, and in show business you have to entertain the gatekeepers.
But that's a shame that you won't do Colbert, because he's really funny. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen his bit where he pointed out that Donald Trump has strange hair.
Mm-hmm.
Good
That
stuff,
was a
isn't it?
funny bit. Yeah, and I like how it's a recurring thing. It's like he has those things that he just says kind of repeatedly, and they come back and he calls it back again and kind of keeps the joke alive. So I do appreciate that about him.
Did you ever see the time he mentioned that Donald Trump uses fake tan?
Yeah, that was
Funny,
good
wasn't
too.
it?
That was good too. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, you might turn me on Colbert because I forget he had all that hilarious stuff about the insurrectionists, and how seditious they were. That shit was great.
Yeah. I remember all this stuff about people saying, oh, Eddie Murphy's coming back and Eddie Murphy's going to do stand up again. And it's like, oh, really? Don't need him. We've got Stephen Colbert.
Yeah,
He's on tonight. I heard he's going to do a joke about Trump's hair. Are you excited?
I hope so. I mean, I'm sure he will. Yeah, you're right. Who needs Eddie Murphy when just doing stuff that makes you laugh when you've got Colbert who makes you laugh, but he also makes you think.
Yeah. He inspires us and he entertains us. But did you ever hear the joke he did about Donald Trump having weird hair?
Yes, and it made me a better man.
Yeah, I had monkeypox, and I laughed so much that they all flew off into her penis.
Oh my God! Right off of your anus, right back onto her penis.
Yeah, I love these are like song lyrics to early David Bowie. Uh,